This intercooler from Mishimoto is going to be an option for the EcoBoost owner out there looking to bring down intake air temps, as well as those looking for more performance and more boost from a budget-friendly solution. The Mishimoto Intercooler is currently the most budget-friendly option on the site. The install for this is easy. It's a 1 out of 3 wrenches in the difficulty meter, and you can expect to spend 2 hours getting this installed. The whole purpose of an intercooler is to increase performance, and it does this through lowering the temperature of the incoming air that's compressed by the turbo. It forces cool air into the cylinders, so basically you're looking at cooler intake air temps thanks to the intercooler. This makes it a good mod for stock cars that are worried about heat soak, or even modified cars that need some more cooling capability. The factory intercooler can only cool so much air. It's limited by its size, so when you start playing around with the EcoBoost and you start running more boost and bolting on some mods, then you're looking at maxing out your factory unit and needing to upgrade. That being said, I wouldn't really peg a front mount as the best first upgrade for performance, but it does work best when you already did some work and you want to make sure that your power potential isn't limited by your cooling setup. But like I just mentioned, depending on what area you're living in and if your car is a daily, you could be having heat soak issues that are killing some of your performance. And so in that case, upgrading the intercooler is also a good idea. Just how much better of a cooling job an intercooler is capable of comes down to its size. This intercooler here is larger than the factory one all the way around, and that's one of the factors that's going to give you those cooler temps. This intercooler has a 58% larger core with 25% more internal core volume and a big 165% increase in external fin surface area. So if we compare this to the factory front mount, the Mishi core is taller, thicker, and longer. This is an all the way around bigger intercooler than the factory one. The core is larger than the factory core is, but it's still going to work with the factory piping, which actually has 2 benefits, which I'll explain in a second, and it's still a drop-in replacement. These are 2 very nice qualities because it means you don't have to spend any money on upgrading your piping, and you don't have to worry about having to modify anything to get this installed. And the larger core means you have a larger cooling surface, hence the greater cooling ability. One thing to start thinking about when you start upgrading your setup around your turbo is things like pressure drop and turbo lag. So sometimes bigger isn't always better, depending on your setup and what you've got going on. But with this intercooler, you aren't looking at a major pressure drop, which is good news for those of you that are concerned with your low-end power band. The ability of this front mount to do that probably has to do with the fact that you're still using your factory piping, so that's the second benefit of keeping your piping. And one other thing I wanted to hit on when it comes to the factory piping is to keep in mind that these are speed density cars, not MAF cars, so you don't have to worry about needing a larger MAF housing or maxing out a housing since there's nothing to max out. When it comes to some of the specifics, this of course is TIG welded and it's made from 6061 aluminum. The aluminum is going to dissipate heat faster, which is why it's used for intercoolers. This guy's also got an in-tank diverter to divert and improve airflow, so you'll be able to utilize the entire front mount. Now this one's powder-coated silver, but Mishimoto does also offer this intercooler powder-coated black if you're interested in that look instead. The black will just give you a more stealthy appearance. As far as price, this intercooler is going to run you just over $500. This is currently the most budget-friendly option on the site, but Mishimoto isn't your only option. InGen also offers an intercooler as well, and so does Cobb. So I wouldn't call the install for an intercooler on an S550 particularly difficult. It's going to take about 2 hours time and be a 1 out of 3 wrenches in the difficulty meter. You are looking at needing a handful of tools to get this done, and a lift is going to be your best friend in this case. Getting the car up high enough to work under the front end will make things go faster for you. You will be pulling the intercooler out from below the car, and you do have to pop off the front bumper cover, the grills, and pull the bottom dust cover off, but this is all easy stuff. Mishimoto does give you some hardware for the install, and like I said earlier, this is a direct drop-in upgrade, so it's going to install the same way that the factory one came out. Wrapping things up here, the Mishimoto Intercooler is a drop-in front mount upgrade for the 2015 and newer EcoBoost Mustang, and I suggest you check it out more online right here at AmericanMuscle.com.